I say let's continue. Let's go ahead and continue with the tournament. We're gonna have to say goodbye to one of these teams by the end of this match, but one will move on to play against Gale Force in the grand finals. It's Method versus Cloud9, best of 7 coming up right now. Wave Punk and Biteable Carpet, take it away.
The last match of the lower bracket, Cloud9 versus Method. Two teams that have had absolutely phenomenal seasons up until this point, but for one of them, it ends here. And for the other, they get to play for the title of World Champion.
The later we get in the day, the harder it is for me to predict who I think is going to take these. Method is a team I've always had my eye on, a very unique play style. 1 up front and 2 always waiting patiently on defense. That's letting a lot, not even needing to think about anything. Cloud9, I'm still waiting to see the Cloud9 we saw in league play. As the day's gone on, we've seen them get more and more, I guess, spurts of that Cloud9, of just how skilled they can be in their passing plays. So it's really a matter of who can bring out their A game.
The question for me is, does the loss to Gale Force that they just had in 7 games, does that affect Method negatively or positively? It could go either way. They're totally warmed up right now, and they just took the at least number 2 team in the world to 7 games, and they beat them in a crazy overtime. They could have a chance to redeem themselves here with a win over Cloud9, but Cloud9 has been on a tear. Who's gonna win? We're just gonna have to find out. It's a best of 7, and the winner gets to play for the World Championship title here. As we see Cloud9 in the orange, Method in the blue. Might be confusing because they're orange and blue colors respectively, but you get it. You can figure it out. You're all smart people. We'll start with Method right now. Here on the offense, they're trying to put this one through, but Torment getting in the way. Squishy will pick it up. He's got Gimmick to work with here in the middle. To pass Magnus creatively. Lots there to bail him out.
Well, Method's had a lot of this early control. Still, Cloud9, they're just buying time. They're waiting to be able to have enough boost to follow up as a whole team. If only 1 or 2 of you have boost, you're going to have to go up alone just to, make sure there's enough pressure on the team, force them that they can't just stay in your half and do whatever they want.
Pass across, Torment here, putting it high in the Method box. Sanaris hanging in the back right now as Magnus rotates. Magnus now out of Cloud9 territory, the pass across the field. Squishy will put it back towards Gimmick. That's Sanaris. Faster read. 50-50's now going in Method's favor. They've got it into the Cloud9 box. Squishy over to the side. It's Gimmick. Pops it high. Looks for bumps. Torment plays it underneath Mets. Magnus now down a lot to play it high. Coming on the wall. Missing contact. Magnus comes in. Squishy is able to meet him and just carry the ball into the wall and push it away from the goal.
So Method just got off of playing one of the most consistent teams in the world. So you'll see that the moment you see any kind of weak touch from Cloud9, someone from Method just shoots right at the ball. They know they need to start contesting it so they can start getting some sort of roll going for them on offense.
Squishy on the wall, lets this go past. Gimmick in the corner with Torment and net. Cloud9 pass plays, midfield. They don't bait in any defenders with that. Magnus waits for the passes and then moves it out. Puts it straight back into the Cloud9 corner. Pushed across midfield. A lot lost it high. He's got Metsanaris to work with. And he'll pass it down. 50-50 from Torment going across, and now Magnus to pick it up. Method looking for a moment of opportunity, but we've crossed halftime here in game 1. We've had no goal scored.
Just on attempt of demolition. Method on the net. Now another bump we see in the mid. Torment and Metsanaris having a bit of an argument.
Magnus for the corner. Tried to follow, but Torment was there first. Now Gimmick into the corner. Sanaris adding pace to it, putting it out to midfield. Squishy looking for Torment. Infield pass, shot towards net is wide. Sanaris now up on the back wall, a lot in goal. Torment lost, a lot. Eats Metsanaris with a shot, and Gimmick clear. 48 on the clock. A few moments of offensive pressure, but nothing really just yet. Method playing into their own corner. Buy time.
Cloud9 really just trying to move Method around. Check out their dance moves. What can they handle? Throw a couple of shots at their net, see exactly how they rotate, and from there they can adapt.
4 shots on net right now from Method, none from Cloud9. What has been an extremely midfield game. Ball spending time kind of everywhere but inside that inner box. turns this one away. Magus immediately meets it, puts her right back. Torment Squishy trying to position themselves for Magus' touch. Metzenars with the pass out, but a lot misses, and now here comes Cloud9 down the field. Magus rotates over and just makes any touch, just taken away from Cloud9 players. Gimmick with a shot, but Metzenars with a save. Sends it away. We'll stay scoreless as we cross into the final minute.
Both of them looking for mistakes in this game one. They have a long haul ahead of them, best of 7. They could be playing a lot more Rocket League, so at this point they're reading each other and just waiting to see if one team is really caving under pressure.
Field passes, Squishy came in to try to finish it off, and now Gimmick up, but he can't put it back into the goal. Few shots starting to materialize now from Cloud9. We approach the final 30 seconds of game 1. It's going to be a 1-goal game. Gimmick to Torment. Squishy in midfield. His teammates being aggressive. He'll now move up as they rotate. Gets the demolition onto a lot in his own corner. Torment now. Into the corner, a lot spawned in. He gets the full caddy corner clear. Over the top of one. Now Torment with the follow. 1 out in the final countdown here. In the regulation, very much looking like a game that's going to go to overtime. Method just dealt with so many overtimes, 3 in their last series, 1 nearly coming close to setting the record, breaking the record we have currently in 7 minutes. You know at this point they're going to be, I don't know if you'd be frustrated or happy to be in overtime at this point, because they've been playing well in those overtimes. But here comes nearly an own goal from Gimmick.
You're going to see a lot of timid play in general. Again, just a lot of the poking the piece to see how things turn out. What?
Woo! Metzenaris back in the last moment, keeping his team alive here in game 1. A lot will drop it over the side. The long shots from Cloud9, they've been a threat all day. Now Method learning they have to respect those shots. Squishy in, shot towards net. Magus with the save. Method sits in net. Warming up. Just clear over Gimmick. They'll pass it back down to the box. Squishy's there, but sent away by Method. A scoreless game. We'll have a 1-0 scoreline. It's just a matter of which side can take the lead. Magus clear, it just stays right near the ceiling the whole time. Looking to kill the Magus, be able to move up. Especially with the shadow play now, moving in, gets it over the top, puts it in. Beautiful play from Cloud9 as they take game 1.
And there it is, something I think Squishy needs to slowly start being able to bring out that confidence in his mechanical skill. He got bumped, he still corrected himself. The player from Method in net, probably not a lot of boost, not a lot of time to react. And again, when you're in that situation, if you against a high flyer, you want to wait until that last touch, unless you know you can beat them to the ball. But it's guaranteed if they're in an aerial and they have some sort of air dribble going on, they're closer than you, so you have to be very patient. But if you're too patient, sometimes that can happen, and Cloud9 will take the win.
Something we didn't see all that much of in the overtimes that Method had against Gale Force was these solo plays, these kind of clutch plays we just saw from Squishy, which in some ways are the safest plays to go for. You have one player just trying to do it all by himself. Your 2 teammates can hang back pretty far, you know, and keep you strong on that defense and not allow you to fall prey to the breakaway, which everyone is terrified of in an overtime. So Method gonna have to figure out how do we defend against somebody like Squishy, who has had, you know, a quietish series, if you want to consider anybody on Cloud9 to be quiet right now. Gimmick has been the kind of star for Cloud9 all season, all event long, but Squishy comes out when he needs to, gets that first win.
I mean, you talk about solo plays. Right now, it's kind of the safe bet that everyone pulls, especially when there's a lot of pressure on the line. It's a tied game, 0-0, maybe 1-1, you're in overtime. You let the one guy go up. At best case scenario, he just outplays everybody and he scores and he's all alone. In the mid-case scenario, somebody makes a mistake and he's able to push it through and then you can follow through. Worst case scenario, you've got 2 people on defense and nothing really happens out of it. He was just able to push it up. So it is a very safe play, but it is so hard for solo plays nowadays because all of these players are so mechanically skilled and can deal with almost any situation that comes their way.
Game 2 will move on to Manfield. You notice that ring in the middle. It's the same ring they have around the trophy right now. 3 teams left that could possibly get that trophy. We'll see. Gale Force is one of them.
I did not notice that.
Try to find out which is the other. Metzenaris in his own corner. Cloud9, the first push on offense. The ball into the blue. Squishy up off the ceiling, down towards the goal, but a lot will send it away. He's waiting for it. Metzenaris, good play back towards a lot. He'll actually follow it up himself. Now Magnus in. Put it high. Plant it deep in Cloud9 territory. Metzenaris with another long clear. He's got Magnus to work with. He looked for Gimmick, but Gimmick makes the save, avoids Magnus' demolition, and now Cloud9 looking for the aerial transition. Look at Squishy. This is how he scored in overtime. This one will be cleared away. But Cloud9 now up on offense.
And now they're actually all three up in Method's half.
Oh.
Squishy has to retreat. Will he get back in time?
Well, the ball is wide along the lofter there from Method. This ball is spending more time near the ceiling right now than it is near the floors. These guys are keeping it so high. Squishy puts it back into the corner. Torment working back, now moving up, taking a shot, and it's wide.
When you're talking about mechanical talent, you always want to think about the crazy dribbles or whatever somebody can do that's real fancy, but oftentimes it's just these touches, these clears, just how effective they are. Every single one just smashing all the way across the field. That's
infield pass, Torment to Squishy. Beautiful play, and it gives them the lead.
What looks so simple is so difficult. Torment coming off the wall very patiently. I don't think he had any boost. He had just enough. He didn't even need to use any. Perfectly to Squishy, who trusted and had faith in his teammate, was there for the pass, and now they'll be up again.
Great play. The bleeding edge of the meta from Cloud9, a team that's redefined how we play Rocket League here in Season 4, and they're going to get it through the defense again. Gimmick putting this through, 2-0 Cloud9.
The difficulty of the 1-on-2 defense. What are you supposed to do as Magnus? Who do you read, Torment or Gimmick? There's nothing you can do. The ball is legitimately blocking you from even seeing one of those players. He figured he'd throw himself at it, cut off as many angles as he could, but it wasn't enough. And now Cloud9 have a pretty solid lead.
It's about 6 minutes to see a goal scored. Game number 1 now. 2 goals already in the first half. Cloud9 starting to figure out Method. Gimmick to play this one across, drops it down. Squishy's there, but Magnus underneath him gets to the ball first. And now a lot looking to transition out of his corner. He's a flick over Torment, and he'll hold on to ball control, puts it into the middle, but he's outdistanced his own teammates, so Gimmick will be able to play it back out to midfield. Cloud9 looking for a transition out, trying to sort out their rotations and get to the formation they want. This gives Method time to move up. Continue to pressure as they let that ball in their own half for a while, but now Squishy, these air carries, they've been helping him a lot this series.
I mean, he's just trying to beat that one defender. It's all he has to do. Because then right after, Gimmick and Torment will fly through. Squishy drops back. He now becomes the defender, but he's done his job. He's beaten the one.
Torment into the middle. Squishy will pick up the boost. A lot. Drop it in the middle. Magnus with an infield pass shot. Torment's there. Is trying to meet him. Torment's winning the 50-50s on the wall. Now Gimmick across the field. Magnus' touch actually puts it back into the middle for Cloud9 as Squishy will pass towards Torment. Moves back to Gimmick, a three-player move, but intercepted by Metanaris. He moves it back down the field. Squishy at the goal line will save the way.
Notice how much defense we've had to see from a lot as well. Generally, he likes to find himself just sitting, waiting, kind of camping, essentially. The closest thing you can get to spawn camping for Cloud9. Just sitting in their half right above their backboard. But, you know, he's felt a lot of pressure from this Cloud9 team and probably still feels a lot of pressure from that last series they just took the loss.
Magnus down the field, Torment across. Metanaris had the read. Gimmick doesn't make contact in his own corner, and neither does Squishy in net. Metanaris puts this through. Methods on the board.
No matter how much you think someone is going to get it, you sometimes just need to follow through. He saw the defender, and he saw the defender on the backboard and in the net. You have to go through with it sometimes. You're 1 of 3. It's okay if you don't make contact, but you've alone put enough pressure to force that defender to make an incorrect move, and now it's only a 1-goal game.
Method with a point on the board. They could easily tie this up. They dropped game 1, but they'd love to be able to take it here in game number 2. Squishy down to Gimmick. Turn this one around. Tag teaming, moving it out. A lot now up the wall. Pass into the middle, and here comes Gimmick. Shot towards the net. 2 goalies commit on the play. No immediate follow-up from Cloud9. They'll be able to transition this one out. Method's going to look to see if they can score. 18 left on the clock. Past halftime a while ago. His own corner. Gimmick up the challenge. Pitch into the middle. Lots there first. Sad still let the ball come to him. Squishy. I couldn't tell if he got that boost before he got the ball. She was definitely going for the boost star play. Gimmick now out of the corner. Final minute of game 2. Cloud9 holding on to the lead in the series and in the game. So we put them up by 2. The best of 7. Got to win 4. So still got a lot of work to do. This is a great start for the last hope of North America.
Shots are close to even. Method with 5 and Cloud9 with 7. Only 2 shots separating them, and that's some of the ones that have registered. I think that overall the pressure's been pretty similar back and forth. Again, just kind of poking that beat, see what flows through, see where the mistakes happen, and then try and push.
With some decent positioning. down by 1. They can play in the 0-second time to fall off the ground. Magnus and a lot looking to work together, but Squishy intercepts and sends it away. Gimmick with the follow. What a kill there as he just keeps it on the ground, allows the Method player to flip over the top, and he's just killing so much time off the clock right now. Magnus at the top of 2. He gets played to the side by Squishy, and he bumps Magnus alongside him. Now a lot Metanaris. Got to keep this one up. Gimmick with the hard clear all the way to the back. This one should touch with nobody else really being able to keep it up. Magnus pitches it off the back wall, but a lot misses. Now moving out to empty space again. They're closing the gap, but they're having to use boost to get there, which means there is a boost to be able to make the plays afterwards. This one should be able to kill there. CLOUD9, 2 games in a row. They've completed the first 2 steps to make it to those finals.
I think I've seen the ball staying up off the ground longer in this land than I have pretty much ever. People always able to keep it up 20 to 30 seconds. And again, for any new viewers, when it hits 0 seconds, essentially the game does not end until it will touch the ground. It doesn't count for those little bumpers in the corner of the map or the walls. It needs to touch the ground.
Yeah, you can see the line. You see the line in between the grass and the wall. It's kind of where as long as it's above that line, you're going to be okay.
But this is really big. I mean, best of 7s are long, which means CLOUD9 are only halfway to that victory. They need to win 4 games to be able to take this. They have seen consistent, but neither team, again, really showing that full force offense. But I think it's a good place to be when there's so much on the line. It's a lot of pressure. Any mistake, any silly goal can mean the end. We've seen a lot of low-scoring games here, and I think it's because also everyone's bringing out their A game. It's so consistent, you really can't just rely on mistakes. You kind of have to rely on that one chance of like, oh, I've actually finally won this 50-50 so good, we can now make this into some sort of volley or some sort of siege, essentially, and keep attacking.
Absolutely. Well, we will get into game number 3 here of our lower bracket finals. The loser ends their run at 3rd place, and the winner gets to play Gale Force. Gets to play. Oh,
I'm that scared. My voice is cracking. And
they're all chomping at the bit. They are all ready to go. Got to win 2 more games for CLOUD9, and it's still a daunting 4 standing in front of Method. Spirit Gibbs predicting the 4-1, and right now, looking at there's even the chance of the 4-0 sweep at this point from CLOUD9, but Method, a team that has been here plenty of times, they know how to be resilient in these best of 7s. They just had to play one, but Gimmick looking for a lot, and the door is wide open for Squishy to send it home.
Already opening up immediately. This bump, we've seen so much physical play. Gimmick just recovering, finding a lot, who drifted nicely in the net, even went deep to make sure he had an angle, and that anyone coming across the net couldn't demolish him, but Gimmick was coming straight on, head forward, and will take him out. CLOUD9 with the first goal.
So much trust that Squishy would have the accuracy to make that play worthwhile, and CLOUD9 immediately back on top. They are holding on to this victory, trying to keep this lead in the series. Now out to midfield. The dribble plays, gets over the top of Mets. A beautiful play, but a lot's got to follow into the corner. Now Metanaris pass to 1. Into the middle. Flopping it up, going for the flick. Squishy sends it away. Gimmick rotates into net, just calm and smooth. Some defense collected here for CLOUD9 as they're holding on to this 1-goal lead. Got it here in the first minute. First minute about to come and go. Demolition in net, but Gimmick's already up. He'll take that one away before Lock can tie the game.
CLOUD9 really on top of things, almost marking players, even if you have somebody in net that's coming from that midfield. There's somebody right next to him.
Oh, Magnus finds a way. He pitches it off the crossbar. There was basically no space between the wall, the ball, and Magnus, and he finds the way to put it through.
The patience to wait for this jump until it hits off the crossbar. Magnus, this has to wake his team up. This is huge for Method.
My brain's trying to find a way to put Monster and Magnus into a pun right now, but it's not working.
Monstigness.
It's close enough. Tie game. Method, what a play. CLOUD9 will have to find a way to score if they want to win here in game 3. And there's a way to do it. Squishy on the air. He finds me coughing, and they find the lead.
We've been talking about Squishy not being able to really show how powerful he is, but really just this series alone, he's made most, if not all, of their goals. I think he's had some support from his teammates, but he really is there to be the striker. His teammates are just lobbing things up there and just letting him use that mechanical skill he has to start putting things on target.
I mean, this whole league play, this whole event, this season 4 of Rocket League here at the end of 2017 has oftentimes just been characterized by which team can pull off the infield pass better. And right now, CLOUD9 making use of it time and time again here in this series, and it has them the lead up by 2 games, and now the lead here in game number 3 as well. A win of this game would put Method on match point, tournament point even. And as CLOUD9 is continuing to pressure Torment through the air to drop it down. It's wide of the net. Gimmick sitting in the net looking to try and bully goalies out. Doesn't happen just yet. Cloud9 remaining on the offense. They're keeping that ball at a very low velocity, making it difficult to clear, but Method will find a way. Squishy going for the carries again. Just trusting him. Look at his ability just to follow by the ball, drift into the boost, and transition back out. Such clean, masterful mechanical play, these Cloud9 boys.
It almost feels like Squishy's kind of adopted the same role that a lot has on their opponent's side. What a falling.
Magnus starting to come alive for Method. Infield pass, Metzenars takes the shot, and it goes through. Tie game here from Method.
This is so difficult off the ground. The power he has, you see Squishy in net wanting to challenge this. The moment that a lot taps it in, he's like, this is my only chance. If he sat in net, there's no way he would have had the speed to go up for it. The closer you get to them, essentially, obviously the larger of a target you are, you cut off more angle. But that was just too quick, and Method will keep this tied.
Method staying competitive. They've only lost by 1 goal so far in this series. They've tied it up again, nearly finding the lead there. The Gimmick, and with able to play it away, a lot actually makes the save there. The farthest back player was a Cloud9 player, and yet he was still able to make that save happen. Now with a shot towards net, sent away by Torment. The pass infield, and Magnus with a shot again, puts it through. 2 for Magnus.
Right now, both teams just trading back and forth, putting pressure on that last man. They knew that Torment would have to come from the corner, so a lot just put the hardest shot he could from the wall. He knew the touch would be weak, he wouldn't be able to clear it, and then from there, it was just a short pass into the midfield and an open net to strike on.
15 seconds past halftime, and Method has the lead, maybe for the first time in this series. Let's see if they can hold on to it. How does Cloud9 play from being down? Been able to hold on to the lead for most. So far, not all of it. Magnus up to a lot. Shot midfield, the redirect sent down by Gimmick. A lot. He wasn't sure whether to go and try and bump Torment. He was maybe just trying to zone him out just by sitting there. Either way, Torment's able to make the save. A lot up on the wall. Metzenars and Magnus in the middle. Squishy over the side. Torment slowly moving out of goal. Squishy moves back. Looking up at the 1, now looking for bumps. Torment off the wall, Squishy up. The bumps weren't there for Gimmick. We'll see Method out the midfield. Torment with the 150-50. Magnus to move it out. Metzenars getting demolished, and that means a lot. Magnus can just be aggressive for a moment as the ball is already being cleared out of their half. Metzenars will spawn on that back line. He'll have a long time to read this one, and he'll get it away. The offense continues for Method, and it bounces off the post and back around. Metzenars onto the back wall. A close one there for Cloud9 as we're approaching this final minute. They're down by 1.
But she had no one to pass to, so we tried to follow through, and Gimmick was able to catch up. But right now, being 1 goal down, it's up to them to really force Method to move around and pull them out of net.
Stars over the side.
Or bump him. Gimmick going for the touch.
Multiple plays. We saw them score their first goal of this game off of a bump. Squishy up, Gimmick getting 2. Squishy to try and send it up for Torment to come in, but it's not there as Metzenars is able to send it away. Magnus picking up ball control. Going for the kill here. Metzenars now to the far corner. 30 seconds remaining. Method holding on to the lead. Torment now on this corner. Moving down the 1 goal. Squishy parallel with him at midfield. Metzenars coming off the wall after gaining ball control. Gimmick to save it. Sends it away. Switching out back to the middle. Over the top of Torment. He'll follow his own pass in the final 8 seconds. Just look to set up his teammates. 2 defenders missed, but so did Squishy in a lot, winning all the 50-50s. This one will go all the way down. Might even score. No. And it'll end on the goal line. Method takes game 3. We got a ball game.
I have to say, lately, 0 seconds means absolutely nothing to me. Because everyone's come so close to being able to either tie it or give themselves that victory point to keep them out of overtime. Method are able to get them that win. You can just see the huge difference in shots right there. I'd add them up really quick, but I don't think my brain has the capacity. So I'm going to talk a little longer. Wave, how about you add them up for me? I'm going to keep talking and give you a second to do that.
14 there for Method. And the crazy thing is 7 from a lot, the leader here on the board by a long shot, but no goals, 3 assists, which means he's not putting the ball on target as much as he's putting the ball around the target.
Yeah.
We went for those passes that kind of look like shots, hoping to bring up a defender, and it just worked so well. He assisted all 3 of the goals from Magnus and Metz.
Yeah, so something Method is never scared to do is to just take even more time to get to the net. If they see a defender in their way at all, they'll just tap it to the left and right. Even if they have a shot potentially and a tight angle they could potentially make, they'd rather just pull that defender out and just make it easier for the next time. Another defender there, will just tap it to the left or right again. They're always trying to play the defenders and force them out. In Cloud9, though, a lot of counterattacks, quick shots. Squishy has really come out for his team, playing consistent, taking the shots he need enough just to keep Method in their own half, because if not, then Method will really start to dominate.
Method now with a win on the board. Only 3 away. So just Cloud9 right now with the 1-game lead. Moving to game 4. Best of 7 is going to be such a marathon, especially when the teams have been playing best of 5s up until this point. They're used to being able to only have to get those 3 victories. You gotta go 1 more here. Have to earn it that much more. Squishy up on the backboard. 3 players up. A lot will pitch it off the wall. Send it back down. Just Torment in the back right now. And a lot able to get it over the top of him. Get a nice pass in front of the net. But no deep commit there from Method. So let's go for the midfield place. The pitch from midfield. Cloud9. These midfield shots have been deadly all day, and it gives them the lead.
Attempting to play the left and right, trying to just horizontally cross it and pull out the defenders, but Mets and Mogs kind of stumbling over each other, not knowing where they're going to hit it. And Squishy saw a wide open field in front of him, took the shot and made it.
He took the shot, and the fact that the defender was up there, he was able to pitch it off. The defender just added so much more speed to the ball. They guaranteed that goal for Cloud9. But they were able to score first. I think they've scored first on nearly every game. And yet they dropped game 3. We'll see. They're able to secure it. Pushing the shot over the top, and this one almost going in. Magnus descended away in what would have been the largest lead of the series. No team ever leading anybody else by more than 1. Up on the walls. Torment coming off the ceiling. Pass. There's nobody there just yet. He moved it himself. A lot's got the read at top. Now Squishy down towards Gimmick. Starts to send it back out to midfield and into the Cloud9 corner. Following along off the wall.
Well played, sticking with it.
Lot in the middle. Naris towards the net. Saved by Squishy. Gimmick down through the corner. Torment passed a lot. Moving out the 1 roll. Just hovering behind it, looking for second touch. Touches her neutral. Gimmick now towards the net. It's up and high. Nearly finds the double tap, and Torment in with a follow-up. A lot saved, sends it high. Naris adds more pace to it. It's over the top of Torment at this point, but Gimmick in the back will be able to save this one. Send it away. Now Cloud9 in the back will look for the clears and for the transition.
Patiently buying time for team. Gimmick just trapping that ball, letting everyone on his team gather some boost and fall behind him and net.
Squishy into the method corner. Off the ceiling, off the ground, then back up. Power on that ball. Squishy high, looking to put it in. Brilliant setup here, and here comes the finish from Torment. Magnus with the ball to keep it out. And Method holding on, not allowing them to have the 2-goal lead. Brilliant stuff from Squishy. He pioneered that style of passing.
The moment they see them, Cloud9, the moment they see Cloud9 dedicating a lot to any shot, that's when Method try and turn it on, get a quick turnaround. But they always drop somebody back. Someone is always there to defend.
They had the shadow defense, and it works out. Now Squishy moving the plate into the middle. Torment's lurking. He's got all 3 players parallel with him. Now 3 in the corner here for Method. Be able to get the defense touches, put it back out to midfield. Win the 50-50 with Squishy. August down a lot into the middle. Soft touch. Torment picks it up and plays it over the top of the Mets. 2 minutes remaining. Cloud9 got that 1-goal lead. They're holding on to it.
They're holding on to it, but it is getting much, much closer. Method have been able to put up 4 shots, and they're getting more threatening as this game goes on.
Coming onto the backboard here comes Squishy. Can't put it through. His Method is well defended. Naris now up into the corner alongside a lot. Just glued to that upper vertice and send it all the way down the length of the field. The middle. Follow, Torment on the wall. Interesting positioning here, and it's leaving them open a bit slow in the back. A lot will drop it down into the box, but there's no follow-up from Magnus just yet. Back and forth, vast majority of car presence happening in the midfield.
Uh-oh.
Approaches final minute, Magnus onto the backboard, looking for the tap down and in, doesn't find it, but he finds Naris on the far side tie game.
How Magnus even got this first touch is beyond me. I have no idea how he just went straight across, and Naris finding just as tight of an angle to put it in. 2 incredible touches. just after Cloud9 had so many incredible decisions made, they double dedicate and Method see the shot.
You know how to describe that pass?
Ow.
Magnificent. Metzenaris with another goal. Method to take the lead here in game 4. They might tie up the series.
Your pun ruined that goal for me. Now it's ruined. But here again, a gimmick. We saw him pull this off at the very end of one of his games in upper bracket. He almost had a touch, just fell short. I hope the pressure's not building up too much on him.
Now in the final minute, this was the scoreline in game 3. CLOUD9 unable to take it to Squishy. Now with Daily, he puts it through. He's been going for this stuff all season, and he pulls it off here in the most clutch moments.
The player to invent the shot himself to get the delayed front flip and just destroy Method on defense. Even they have to be impressed. Incredible showcase from Squishy.
Absolute obliteration, and if you look over at Squishy on the stage, he's still just stone cold killer.
How do you not smile?
Doesn't even care. He ties it up, but they're gonna have to score one more time if they want the win here in game 4. Here comes a lot with the save, sends it away. Gimmick gets the demolition in goal. Squishy up. Just Alva, how do you fear Squishy at this point when he's so successfully done the thing that you only see him doing in ranked usually? What do you do as a Method player? 20 seconds left. We could end it here in regulation, or we could go to overtime. So many overtimes, so many game 7s and game 5s. In this event, these teams have been so close, and it's looking like we might have another one. That's they're gonna try and do here in regulation. Like, oh, pass is beautiful. A lot to Metzenari's connection, and Method has the lead.
Pulling out the final defender, baiting him, just thinking he had it. Read his Squishy's touch, recovering perfectly on the wall and dropping it to Metzenaris. Again, the trust from Method for their teammates. Unbelievable. Only 3 seconds remain.
And we said it earlier, the infield pass, no matter how flashy your play is, it's the infield pass and the ability to pull it off that has characterized the winning teams this season. And at this point, does the ball touch? Do we get another one? No. Method will win this, tie up our series at 2 games apiece.
No surprise to see this back and forth. But the beginning of that game, most of that game, you saw what Cloud9 was doing to Method. They were forced to clear it. So Method would clear it, follow it up, try and gain some ground. But Cloud9's solo plays and decision-making were too good. They'd always beat out that person that was putting on pressure and just turn it right back into them. Unbelievable play from both of these teams. This game alone could have all the highlights.
I'm still geeking out about this.
Let's just all silently watch.
Look, you've seen it on Reddit before, but have you seen it in a finals match at a world championship?
That could potentially be one of the best, at least LAN competitive shot we've ever seen. Unbelievable showcase, and for anyone that is super unfamiliar with how he was able to execute that, if you fall off the ceiling, your second flip is there as long as you need it, essentially. Usually if you jump off the ground, you have a set amount of time and you have to make that second flip or it disappears. But if you fall off the ceiling, you leave yourself in a place where you can actually still use it whenever you want. But how difficult that is to follow through, just let gravity do its work, and still he's able to push it through every single defender on Method. But Method, after seeing that, still turning it around, taking a victory.
They still took the win, you know, just not even phased. They say, sure, you can score the cool, flashy goals, but this is Rocket League. This is a marathon. This isn't a home run derby. It's all about who's got the most at the end.
And you can see the difference right now, though. Method are doing a little bit more teamwork. Cloud9 kind of relying on Squishy right now. He's the one that's been pushing through a lot of these last shots and a lot of the ones that have been securing them the goals. So they need to be careful. If there's too much weight on Squishy, it could really start to bear down on him.
Now tied up here. Our second best of 7 of the day. We're guaranteed at least game 6. It's been such a close day between the best teams in the world. Pass to Gimmick. Magnus up. Norman to drop it back to Gimmick. He goes for the back pass to Squishy. Now up and airborne. A lot in the air. Will meet him. Send it away. Over towards the Mag and Metz duo. Magnus and Metzenaris. Doubles partners for all of eternity at this point, basically, in their 3v3 roster rented out here by a lot. Cloud9 pass 2. Can Gimmick get the finish? He does. Bounces it off the ground and in. Cloud9's got the lead again.
2 decisions made here by Gimmick. The first one around the defender and the second to put it on target. He saw Magnus coming through. If he'd taken the shot right off, he would not have made it. It would have been a pinch off that defender, so he opts to put it to the backboard. Trust his skill, and it's a good thing he did. They will be in the lead.
I believe Cloud9 has gotten the lead every single game, and yet the last 2, it's not mattered. something that's characterized thing. Oh, Cloud9 coming in here. Comes Squishy. Magnus didn't have the save. He just kind of let it drop right back down in front of his net, and Cloud9 punishes.
There's a late shot from Squishy, but a later touch from anyone on Method right now. Magnus just falling off the wall, defeated. He saw how weak that touch was, and he had no more boost left. So he just slumped down onto the ground and hoped that Squishy couldn't shoot it, but that is a bad thing to hope for.
Now, 2-goal lead. This is the biggest lead. Make it 3. Squishy lighting up right now. And Cloud9 trying to run away with game 5.
And again, Squishy, they're just such a good goal scorer for them. Patiently waiting. This is just a clinical touch from him. Nothing too impressive. It wasn't delayed. He didn't do anything crazy. He just put it up and then took a shot towards the crossbar. But it's the mispositioning from Method. That gap was too big between the two players. And Cloud9 yet again will put themselves even further in the lead.
In the last 4 games, Method scored 6 goals and Cloud9 has scored 6 goals total. These teams are so even, and they've never been more than 1 goal apart. And now, here in game 5, Cloud9 up by 3, trying to make a statement here that this is their series. They want that chance at the world title. They have to win this and the next.
Squishy again, Gimmick going for the high-flying bump in net.
August now. Corner, Metanaris. Nobody really set up in net here. The infield pass trying to come through, but good clear from Metanaris. She put it back down and into the blue box. Defense holding for now. Method, but they have to start getting the offense going. Down by 3, always a difficult comeback. Starts out towards Magnus. Go for the dribble plays towards the net. And look at the infield pass play from the lot. Metanaris in to finish it, but Squishy has the save. The line comes in one more time. It does not go through. They're able to get it away. Torment with the carry. The tightest infield pass I've ever seen, and it's well defended. And now the counterattack starting to come through for Cloud9.
Somehow they were able to cluster up and defend that incredible play from Method. They still got it in, and they want to be able to make this a closer game, and they have over half the game left to score 3.
Torment into the middle. Gimmicks there, but does not make contact. Pushing now up. Approaching halftime. You got this jump reset on the ceiling, but he won't use it. Off the wall, out to a lot. Shot is wide and high, no, blocked by Squishy. The savior medal there. Just into the way. In the middle, a lot. Looking for the redirect, but Cloud9 defense holding on. Completely shutting out Method right now in the first half. Squishy wanting to get out of his goal to go pick up boost, but right now, just feeling the pressure here from Method.
Yeah, they're playing hyper defensive. 2 of them almost out of
shot.
boost.
This one will go through. Method's on the board.
I mean, you want to play safe when you're in the lead, but this is what happens. Only 2 of them had boost, or 1 of them had boost, sorry. 1 of them had around 80, the other 2 had 6 left, and what are you supposed to do? Eventually, Method are just going to keep pushing you around. Cloud9, you can't get too complacent. I know you have the lead, but just because that doesn't mean that Method aren't just as good to push it on.
Now 1:54 left to go. Still up by 2. Exceeded the first goal. Looking to build a comeback. Last 2 games, they've managed to get it. Here's another shot from Alon. It goes through. 1-goal game again. Method just won't go away.
And it's the speed. Gimmick was actually there. He was in net. He turned around. But the speed from this shot, he was even right middle. It could have been even further away. Someone trying to get the bump as well, but it doesn't matter. Method just too quick.
Just like that, a 1-goal game. And with 1 minute, 41 seconds left to go, plenty of time for Method to tie this one up. And 3 unanswered goals from Cloud9, and now 2 back from Method. Torment with a shot, Magnus with the save. Squishy will pick this up. If they want to be able to hold on to this game, they need to find a way to break the scoring streak of Method. Magnus sends another one towards the net, and it goes in. The defense just not their tie game.
They're able to get a 3-goal comeback without even breaking a sweat. They're just pushing it through. There's a mistake. We see Gimmick try and come off the wall to get that touch. His teammates all relying on him, and Magnus, the moment he sees it, takes the shot that he can. Tied up 3-3.
Now 1:22 left to go. This has just been the story. Cloud9 gets out to the lead, and then Method takes it away from them. They're going to look to try and take the lead right now with the shot from Alon. It bounces back down. Metanaris up to try and keep this competitive. Just buy time for Magnus to get up here and make that final play. Go underneath as Torment plays it out and across into the Method half. And the pass back to Magnus to the corner for Alon. Sends it over the top. Just look to drop it back for Metz. Doesn't come off the wall enough. Back in the middle. Squishy should have this one, but Magnus threatening
Two up.
Ball deep.
Two up from Cloud9, and now a pass to a lock, but just too far.
Final minute of play. 45 seconds left. The shot from Magnus is high, but a lot in with the finish. It goes off the corner and back out. Torment will just look to slow this down. He wants his team to be in place before they try to make another push. As we hit the final 30 seconds of this game 5, it's all tied up right now.
Honestly, Cloud9 want overtime. They have almost no boost to their name right now. Again, you'll slowly see Methods just suck it out of them. There's nothing they can do if they keep these shots up.
Squishy with a nice play. Oh, and he just dismantles a lot, but Metzenars is right there to bail him back out.
Nothing.
Puts it back in the corner, and Torment with a soft touch. Magnus in. Squishy is able to meet it. And now with the final 10 seconds, can they survive to overtime? Metzenars puts it in, and Method's got the lead.
It was just a matter of time. Cloud9 could not clear it hard enough. They weren't winning the 50-50s. They couldn't find the push through. They were just buying time. No boost left. They were completely dry. Squishy would every now and then be able to grab one corner boost, but what can one player do other than get one good save? And Method, they saw it the entire time, kept taking shots, and just seconds left now.
Cloud9 has won the kickoff, but Lott's put a lot of air on this ball, a lot of altitude, and it's so high. Magnus and Metzenars have lots of time to get prepared. Squishy will be able to pick this up. He's got Torment in behind him, but Metzenars to slam it down. 2 games now. We've seen Method score in the final seconds, and now they have the lead. They have Cloud9 on match point.
I mean, there's no way to say this. I mean this in the best way possible. If there's a team that knows how to lose, it's Method. They're able to bring that last series to a Game 7 all the way to the end, get crushed in that loss, immediately start this series off being down 2-0, looking like they were going to get swept, and now they find themselves on match point. Method only 1 game away from getting themselves that rematch against GFE.
And in ridiculous pressure as well. 14 shots again here for Method. Only 4 goals to show for it. 7 saves on the side of Cloud9. They had to play so much defense, as we talked about time and time again. Trapped in their net because they don't have any boost, and they have to find a way to get the ball away. All of those saves coming from Torment and Squishy. Gimmick decidedly quiet here in the series, especially on the defense.
And it's a side effect we see here, especially at LAN. A lot of teams just resort to passive play. They trust their defense, but if you trust it too much, you will go up against a team like Method, who will always punish you for it. So Cloud9, yeah, they can get a couple of great shots up. Squishy making probably one of the best highlight reels we will see this weekend, but it's not enough when Method's there.
And I worry. Squishy has 415 personal points, and the next is 270 and then 115 from his teammates.
Yep.
He's doing a lot of ball control, but maybe a bit too much ball control, not allowing his teammates to get involved and play as that team that we know they can. And now, here in Game 6, Method 1 game away from a rematch against Gale Force up in the finals. Can Cloud9 do it? They're going to have to win 2 more games. Gotta win this one and the next. Keep North America's hopes alive. It's been a long time since we've had a Europe versus North America finals. You know the fans are itching for it here in Washington, D.C. A good start. Squishy's shot will go in with some help from Methods.
While still turning around, he's able to make this shot, following it through, beautifully pushing that all the way across. Metzenars, you'd think he almost had that, but I don't think he had any boost to his name, so he couldn't make the reach. Cloud9 at least starting off strong in this Game 6.
Now, a blazing offense there from Cloud9, but this goal means nothing to me. They've scored the last 3 games first, and they've still ended up losing. They have to be able to. The last game, they had a 3-goal lead, and they still ended up losing. As we saw Method score 4 straight. So Cloud9, they cannot feel safe until this one is over and the clock is at 0. A lot with a shot. Squishy tries to get there, but it's not going to happen. Tie game.
C9 just feels sluggish right now. This touch from Squishy, or from Torment, but no one to follow it up. Gimmick trying to, but they're just spaced out too far. Method are staying closer. They're staying tighter. They're making sure that they can always outpace their opponents. And it's something we saw during league play, and they're really showcasing it now.
2 goals in the first minute. Teams that have been very defensive. Cloud9. They gain the lead again, and they need this win. Match point, tournament point. Their tournament lives rest on this game. Switch into the middle, Magnus with a redirect away. Gimmick wins the 50-50 in the air, and he'll look for Torment. Airborne meets Metzenaris, not mean it strongly enough. He puts it near the box, but Magnus is able to get it away. Now a follow-up from Squishy. This one's more dangerous. Now Gimmick in with a 3rd shot. Solid siege-style rotation coming through Cloud9. Gimmick gets the boost steal in the corner as well. This will slow it down for Method. A bump on Metzenaris as well.
I like the idea from Torment going for the pass instead of the shot.
Pinch out from Magnus. Roll away into the orange. Metzenaris, nice clear. Squishy down to Torment. Magnus now onto the backboard, looking to finish it off. 2 players up, and Metzenaars does not have the shot. A lot up to try and put it on the third one. But Squishy had time to sort himself back out, send it away. 3:20 left to go. Magnus airborne to try and drop it down.
Cloud9 running out of boost again, though. Gimmick on the backboard with nothing. Squishy with 20 to his name, and now Torment with 9. He's able to snag it, and this clear will help buy them some time.
And Metzenaars was also out. Players, everybody having the space back out, pick up a little bit of boost and reset. Squishy and Torment in the corner here, not rotating with Gimmick. He's just sitting down, quiet. Hanging far back in net, hoping he can get it clear. The save wouldn't be enough in that situation. Able to put it all the way up into the corner as he comes out from the net. She will fall back. Torment into the middle. Gimmick moving up to the 50-50 with a lot off to the side. Now Metzenaars down the field looking for a lot. The redirect towards the goal. Great infield pass, but Squishy's there. The pressure's still on, and Magnus will find it through. Method has the lead.
This save from Squishy, a little bit of luck and a whole lot of skill. He was able to make the pre-jump, but Torment had to try and follow suit.
And the read from Metzenaars, he was over on the side. Squishy, not only did he get the save, but he got the clear too into the corner, but Metzenaars was right there, puts it right back in, and Method has the lead right here at halftime.
I mean, describing these two play styles, right now it feels like Cloud9 are playing reactive, trying to read Method, and Method's playing control. They want to make sure they have the next touch, and it seems to be working out in their favor.
Torment looking to tie the game. Cloud9 has not played well from behind this series. In this corner, he will pick up his own boost. Keep the star from happening just yet. Touch from Magnus will give it to Gimmick. Metzenaars over to the side. A lot demoed in his own box. Space opened up here for Cloud9, but they got to make meaningful contact. They're going to use it. 2 minutes remaining. Method with the 1-goal lead. The only lead they need at this point. A win in this game sends them back up into the grand finals to face off against Gale Force. So they went 7 games against already. This one's so close. Metzenaars and Magnus tag teaming to clear. Back down the field to possibly double tap it through. Squishy moves back out. 1:30 left on the clock here in Game 6. Everything on the line for Cloud9. They're trying to tie it up.
They're pulling everything they can now out. They've really only been able to muster up 2 shots that have registered. They're going for bumps. Gimmick trying to support Squishy to clear that defender out to give him an open shot, but Method are just sticking to the air. They're getting there as quickly as they can. It's hard to bump people that aren't on the ground.
Squishy over to Torment. Play into the corner. Stars over the top. Torment falling back. Have to half flip in, get the boost to try to turn it around. Wins the 50-50, but the final minute of Game 6. Cloud9 moving forward. Method just holding on. Defense has been there, and another shot towards net. This one's wide. Magnus with the flick over Gimmick and the play over Squishy. Torment falling back. He'll get the stop, but is it enough? Metzenaars is up onto the backboard a lot. Airport drops it down. Possibly the nail in the coffin here as Method is taking a lead.
Torment just getting there, and they've hit off the backboard. Method as quickly as he can, seeing Squishy and Gimmick on the ground, and again struggling for boost. It's just been the story for them this entire series. Cloud9 have not had control of their own corners, let alone midfield. They've only had 2 shots this entire game.
Metzenaars and company. They came through the upper bracket. They dropped down here for 1 series and now have a 2-goal lead over the North American champions in the final 30 seconds. Desperation starting to break through for Cloud9. They have to be aggressive. Defense will not win them anything right now. With 17 seconds left, down by 2, they need a goal and then time to get the equalizer. But they're having to still play defense as the pressure continues to come on from Method. With the final 10 seconds, they just keep putting it onto the backboard over and over again. It's been a great run for Cloud9, but Method has shown their mettle, and they will face Gale Force in the grand final.
Talk about endurance. Method losing the first 2 and then winning 4 games in a row. Especially after that crushing loss in the uppers just the series prior to this, they will find themselves looking at GFB yet again.
For the 2nd season in a row, North America will finish at 3rd place, and for the 3rd season in a row, we will have 2 European teams vying for the title of best in the world.
I have to give Cloud9 so much credit. This has to be, I mean, this is their first showing. They are essentially rookies here at RLCS. This is the first time they've been here on this stage. Two of them, it's their first time even in the RLCS for league play. Unbelievable showing, making it to third, but it seemed like the pressure started to build up just too much at the end. They never felt like themselves in this series. They felt like they were constantly trying to outplay their opponents by reacting to their touches as opposed to trying to make their own.
Now, but you want to talk about LAN rookies. This entire Method roster, it's their first time here. They missed out on a reverse sweep by Flipside in the regional playoffs. That's what kept them from being here last season. And here they are, number 2 at least in the world, and they will be playing for that number 1 spot. And against a team that they've already played 7 games against today, they could possibly play 21 games against Gale Force today.
I mean, on the plus side for them, at least they know they can bring Gale Force all the way to the end, and now Gale Force just had to sit and watch that. That was a very promising victory, especially for this late in the tournament. Method seriously had so much control. Their shots were solid, always looking for each other. I love that their first thought is to beat a defender and to pass it to a teammate. Their last shot is the thought, their last thought is the shot. They'll only do that if they know for sure they can get it, or if they know it's the easiest thing possible.
Absolutely brilliant play from Method as they advance to the grand finals. And to give us his thoughts on that match, it's Magnus down on the field.
Guys, give it up for Method. Unbelievable. Okay, so you start off the series and you're down 0-2. You lost 2 in a row, and at this point, I think everyone here was kind of like, you know, they must just be exhausted from that grueling game against Gale Force. And then you started to rally back. Was there at any point in your mind that you felt like you guys were out of this?
When the games went 0-2, I felt like we were frustrated, so we tried to cool each other down. We felt like we've been in these situations before, so we knew that we could come back from that situation, so we were okay with that.
And then in that moment, because you started to see Squishy just go off. Squishy is just making play after play, some god-tier level plays as well, but you both were not to be outdone. All 3 of you were not to be outdone. When you recognize that a guy like Squishy is going off, what adjustments do you need to make in the game at that moment in order to respond? Like, were you looking at a player to try and target, or were you just like, we just need to stop Squishy from making plays?
I felt like when Squishy did that insane goal, we were kind of scared of him, so we didn't challenge him at all. So after that, we decided to just challenge him early enough so we can stop him. And after that, we just kept scoring, I guess.
You just recognized that he was a human being like the rest of us here, and not this immortal god. Okay, now, you're down 0, or what was it? Yeah, you're down 3-0. 3-0, and everyone wrote you off. They were like, that's it. They ran out of steam. This is similar to what I asked you before. Now you're down 0-3. Did you feel like when you got that first goal, you're like, we're gonna make this comeback?
After they got 3-0, they were all kind of like, I don't know if kickoff goals, and there was like 3 minutes left, so we knew that we could get some couple goals off. So we just kept the pressure on their side, and we saw that they were crumbling on defense, so we just kept on shooting and shooting until it went in.
Gotta love it, man. Just keep on shooting. Much love, much appreciated on that. Now, finally, you have played 13 games of Rocket League so far, and in order for you to win, you have to win. I mean, let's just be real here, because it's more than likely going to go best of 7 each time. At the very least, 14 games. So that's the max you'd have to win in order for you to become the Season 4 World Champions. Can you do it?
Easy.
Easy. Much love. Thank you so much, my man. Guys, give it up for Matthew. Give it up for Magnus. Let's go ahead and send it over to the desk to break down that incredible matchup.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Great to hear from Magnus there. What resilience shown from Method from the series score to that one game. It was game 5 where Cloud9 was up 3-0. Squishy was just doing whatever he wanted, but Method able to bring it back and smoothly coast into the grand finals. Guys, let's take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay and recap that one. Method taking out Cloud9 and advancing to the grand final.
And it started out a 2-game lead for Cloud9. I was starting to think Gibbs was spot on with his 4-1 prediction, and really, out of all the games, Cloud9 scored first every single time. Squishy, 5 out of the 6 games, but Method just did not give up.
And Method figured out how to beat this Z9 defense, every single time it was about building pressure. Even the cross-field passes were all about just putting a shot on that Z9 couldn't handle.
And really
pressure? Yeah. 61 shots in 6 games, actually, more than 10 shots per game, while Cloud9 only had 36, but the big games for me was game number 4, where Squishy had the unbelievable goal to tie it up, and then, what was it, like 7 seconds left, Method scores to win that game. Then they're down 3-0. The game right after it, come back to win 4-3, and after that it was all Method.
It really is just Method refusing to lose. Shogun talked about them being the team that went on the grind after they lost to Flipside and didn't even make it to the World Championship, but they did not give up. And normally, in the regular season, 90% of the time, if you scored that first goal, 80 to 90%, you are going to win. Method did not score first a single time, and they won 4 straight after dropping the first 2, and a lot of that was Mets putting in passes from a lot. And all around, though, a team effort for Method, incredible.
If Gale Force were watching this match as well, you have to be scared, because that was a Game 7. Now they've had to warm down, and Method are coming in incredibly hot, 4 games in a row.
And, you know, we got to give an incredible amount of credit to Cloud9. What an absolutely amazing tournament. Their debut in RLCS, and they get 3rd place in our World Championship. And a lot of that had to do with Squishy Muffins. We saw some of the most ridiculous plays from him. We have one to look at here.
And really, 9 out of the 11 goals that Cloud9 knocked in were Squishy Muffins, but look at him doing it on the defensive side of the ball. Cloud9, they held the line in this moment of the game. It really was something to see.
He also had 16 saves. The majority of the saves for Cloud9, he was there on attack, on defense, he was everywhere.
But it was so incredible because they made all those saves, and that was in that Game 5 where Method came back and still won that game. So
you saw the scoreline there, 3 minutes left.
Yeah, a 3-goal lead. A 3-goal lead is a rarity to come back from. 3-0, but Method, again, they just refused to give up.
And plus, this means Cloud9, they finally lost their first LAN, and it also means Europe finally again will win a LAN because they've lost 3 in a row to North America, so they must be feeling good with an all grand finals.
Let's take a look at the play of the tournament, though. In my opinion, the goal of the tournament, just watch, admire, practice it at home and fail, because you can't do this. I can't. I'm sorry. You probably can. I can't.
It's hard enough to go for this at LAN, but to fake it underneath.
Look at how late he flips there.
He struck fear into the hearts of Method with that shot. He flipping his car around, faking the hit, and then shooting it and using his flip at the final second. We talk about Squishy all the time being a pioneer of those ceiling shots in competitive, and he pulls it off in the lower final.
And he didn't even smile. That's the worst.
I want to go back and look at that footage. There had to have been a smirk or something from Squishy there, but absolutely amazing play, absolutely amazing run from Cloud9. They're out of the tournament, though, and now it's time for us to go to the grand final. Ladies and gents, we're not too far away from the end here, not too far away from crowning our world champion. We're going to take a short break here, but when we come back, it's the grand final of our Season 4 World Championship for the RLCS. Gale Force against Method, coming up next.